Today we're going over the top 5 things that you should do before you list your house here in Louisville, Kentucky. My name is Spencer Lowe, I'm with United Real Estate Louisville, and if this is your first time on my channel, make sure you click that subscribe button as well as that bell notification so you never miss a new video. I do market updates as well as buyer and seller tips here on this channel, so make sure you click those buttons so you don't miss a new video. And if you get something out of this, make sure you like the video, it really helps me out. If you are looking at selling, I've got a couple free resources down below. I've got my pre-listing checklist as well as my seller's guide, which just walks over everything throughout the selling process that you should know to be prepared as a consumer here in the Louisville market. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to go through the house and we want to declutter and neutralize the property. And the reason this is important is because when buyers come through, they really want to see the house. They don't necessarily want to see a bunch of stuff. So having a bunch of stuff in the house really makes it hard for them to envision themselves living there. It's important that we go ahead and neutralize and declutter. We want to make sure that it still looks like a home, so that way buyers can envision themselves living there. They can see that that's a bedroom, that's an office, that's a kitchen. We want to make sure that we still leave it being a home and make it feel homey. But at the same time, we also don't want a bunch of added stuff that just doesn't really show the house in its best light possible. Now, the second thing that we're going to do is we're going to deep clean the property and make sure that we get out any of the smells that are in the house. So if you have pets, dogs or cats, it's really important to go ahead and have the carpets professionally cleaned before we list it, because when buyers come in and they smell dogs or cats, it can turn the buyers off pretty quickly. So it's really important to go ahead and have those carpets professionally cleaned. The other thing is we just want to give the house a deep clean. So I'm talking ceiling fans, baseboards, and the back of the cabinets, stuff like that can have a huge impact on the way a buyer feels about the property after they see it, because that cleanliness, they see it as they're going to move in. They're going to have a whole project of cleaning the house from top to bottom. So it's really important that we just give them a really blank canvas that's clean and warm and inviting and smells really inviting and smells like home, to really make sure that the buyers come in and they see it as a home and not just a place that is going to be a project for them to move into. Now, the third thing that we're going to focus on is our curb appeal. Now, our curb appeal is our first impressions for buyers, because whether they're finding the house on Zillow or Realtor.com, or they're just driving the neighborhood and see a for sale sign, they're going to see the outside before they see any of the inside. So it's really important we get this right. Make sure that we don't have any dead trees or bushes. We've got a fresh coat of mulch. We want to make sure that the grass has been watered if it's the heat of the summer like it is right now. Make sure that we water the grass so that way it's kind of greened up a little bit before we take pictures. And then the other thing that we want to focus on is just making sure that we've got a fresh layer of mulch down, or it just looks presentable and it's not just a weed infested jungle out there that buyers can't really see the house, or they see it as a project they'd have to go in and fix before they actually move into the house. So make sure we get our curb appeal right, so that way buyers actually click on the link on Zillow or they inquire about it from the sign in the yard. Now, the fourth thing and most important thing that we do before we list a property is we get professional photos. Now, it's really important that yes, your agent uses professional photos. I personally pay for my professional photos when we go to list a house. That being said, these aren't necessarily your first impression, because first impression is the outside of the house, but it could be the second impression. Because if somebody's driving by, they see the sign in the yard and then they check it out online and it's got really bad photos, it could prevent people from coming and seeing the house. And the other factor is if people are just browsing on Zillow and they see the house on Zillow and it doesn't look professionally done, it could draw away from their interest of the property. So making sure that we have professional photos and we prep the house properly before we get to the professional photos is really important. So run through the house, take cell phone pictures of everything. The bedrooms, the bathrooms, as well as the kitchen. Typically it's things like kitchen cabinets and countertops that tend to get over cluttered, and in person they don't look bad. They look like they're completely empty. It's only got a couple things on it, but then the second you take a picture of it, you're like, all right, the countertops look like they've just got a ton of stuff on them. They don't look great from the camera lens, so let's go ahead and take some of that stuff off before the professional photographer gets out there to take the pictures. Now, the fifth thing you should do before you list your house is sit down with a couple agents and really ask them, what are you going to do to get my house sold? How many people are actually going to see my house once it's listed? Now, when you list it, we put it on the MLS, it gets pulled into Zillow and Realtor.com. That's legally required. The sign in the yard is also legally required. So it's really the other stuff. So is it postcards, printed ads? Is it, social media advertising? I wrote a book called Selling Smarter, How I Leverage Social Media to Get Your House More Attention on the Market. In today's market, houses last month in July were selling in 6 days on your average, or your median days on market was 6 days. So it doesn't really give us time to even get postcards out. So it's really important you're asking, what are you going to do to get my house sold? Because in about 2 days, I can have your house about 12,000 impressions on Facebook, whereas postcards, I couldn't even have them in the mail and printed and mailed out yet. So they're definitely not going to get there in the 6 days that houses are, most houses are selling for in today's market. So sit down with a couple agents, discuss what they can do. If you want a free copy of my book, click the button down below. I've got a free copy. All you do is give me your address and then I send it to you. And if you do want to sit down and discuss what I could do to get your house sold, give me a call. My name is Spencer Lowe. I'm with United Real Estate Louisville, and I've got my phone number down in the description. If you made it to this point in the video, I really appreciate you sticking around. Once again, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button because it really helps me out, and also you won't miss any new videos if you click that subscribe button and the bell notifications, so make sure you click both of those. If you did get something out of this video, give me a like because it really helps me out. And once again, I do have my pre-listing checklist, my seller's guide, as well as my book down below. And if you're looking at selling your house here in Louisville, give me a call. I've got my phone number down in the description below. Thanks again for watching.